welcome to the Cup TV, the Currently Unnamed Podcast, where we put the real and the tea in reality. And you can always come to us first to quench your thirst. I am Lana, aka Player 457. hmm
I didn't even realize we were going to make the exact same joke coming in. I was like, you know what? I was about to put 457. I was like, no,
But you're
no.
Player 458.
Yeah, that's what it is.
We're 457 and 458. But we're back. It's here. We're doing it again. I am your resident evil diva, here to give the tea, spill the tea, and drink the tea because you know I love me some tea. Per. Um, and I have my cup mug here too. Ew. And you can get your cup mug at lanagcreations.etsy.com. That link will be in the description below. And it's right there above player 458's head over there. So scan that QR code and it'll take you right where you can get your cup mug. And we do ship internationally and domestically, so there are no excuses. Get your cup mug, period.
And hello, my name is Jack, otherwise known as Player 458. Both Lana and I, unfortunately, were the two alternates for this season, and you can't
Yeah.
prove otherwise, so you're just going to have to believe it. And I'm mainly here because Jesus Christ, we were kind of connected with players of this cast last season. Apparently, we know like a tenth of this cast. It's genuinely insane.
It's lovely to know that I was like, oh, I know somebody. I know people in this cast, and one of them I'm going to talk extensively about because
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna let y'all know this is the Mark stand account, player 100 stand account. Player 100 has my heart, has my soul. I love him, and if you say a bad single thing about player 100.
Curse on your bloodline.
Yeah, that, very that. Because what we will not do is have any player 100 slander here in my presence or Jack's presence. So watch yourself. But yeah, we are here. We're talking about Squid Games 2. It's back. Who would have thought that the challenge is back? And I'm excited to talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, it is interesting because I think with a season of this down and mildly all of the horror stories of said season,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
it's interesting that not only season 2 was greenlit really fast, but also season 3 has been greenlit. Uh,
Mm.
Season 3 was greenlit like 4 months ago, before
Mm-hmm.
this season even like was doing teasers. So
Yeah.
I mean, obviously they have a good formula, and with them deciding to pump out like 5 extra Squid Game seasons, it only kind of makes sense.
I mean, sure. And we're going to talk all about it, but before we do, y'all know what to do. If this is your first time here, please, first of all, welcome. Thanks for joining. We love you. Hit the subscribe button while you're here because we're on a mission to get 1,000 new subscribers by the end of the year. We're already in November, so we
How?
definitely. How are we here so fast? It feels like we just started this year, but we are in November, and not just we're almost in the second week in November. Like we're almost in our second week in November already. So it's kind of wild. But subscribe to this channel, subscribe to all of our channels. All the links of those channels will be in the description below in our link tree. Click that and subscribe to all of our channels. If you're a fan of Drag or Drag Race, At the Cup Pod is the place for you on YouTube. If you are a fan of Eurovision Song Contest, which is about to start heating up once again because Juniors is about to start, so hit up At the Cup ESC on YouTube as well. Follow us on our audio podcast links because we want to be wherever you are. So if you want to take us with you, we would love that. When we can keep you up to date on all your competitive television reality needs, drag race needs, and your vision needs. So take us with you. Our audio podcast links are in the description below. Our Patreon is heating up. We got exclusive Patreon exclusive shows going into our Patreon, which somebody on this panel, not me, might be involved in. We have some fun things. like I said, Patreon exclusive shows, Patreon exclusive series. We have some behind the scenes things that we do, fun things, early access for shows that will come out later that you can get first access to. So our Patreon is heating up, it's popping off, and we really want you to join it. So join our Patreon as well. And follow us on all of our socials at The Cut Pod on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Blue Sky. We are doing our thing over there. Follow Jack and I if you want. But anyway, Jack, we're talking Squid Game today, and we know 4 episodes dropped, but we're talking episodes 1 and 2 today. And then tomorrow we'll be talking episodes 3 and 4. And then for the following weeks after that, it's just 3 episodes that drop after that. So we'll be talking all 3 episodes for the next 2 weeks until the series is over. So that will be our schedule. Episodes 1 and 2 right now. And episode 1 starts out, it's called Six Legs, and we'll find out why it's called Six Legs later on. But it starts off with the arrival of all 456 players. They all go into the dorm. This is the first time the first series we got the red light, green light challenge to start off the series, and but we didn't get that. We got everybody going into the dorms for the first time, and so everybody's like, "Oh, it's 456 players here. It's definitely not enough beds for 456 players." So we know something has to give.
Yeah, I mean, uh, realistically, if you had heard anything about the behind the scenes for season one, you know how bad red light green light ended up going in concept. That
Mm-hmm.
was a grueling 8-hour shoot.
Mm-hmm.
It was verifiably unfair. There were multiple calls that they had to make. So I'm not surprised at all they made a decision to essentially be like, yeah, no, let's do that same culling process, but make it way easier to track. And I
Yes.
don't blame them in the slightest.
I don't blame them at all. It was what they needed to do, and I actually like this what they did this time around a lot better. Um, so what they did was everybody, like I said, everybody was in the dorms, all 456 players, and um, so they said they came out and announced that they needed 2 people to volunteer. That was it. No, no,
Just volunteer.
we just
Yeah.
need 2 people to volunteer. And so of course you had the people like, not me, not me. I'm not doing it. Um, Jack, being that you were the alternate in 450 player 458, did you have the inkling to volunteer in that? Would you
So
have volunteered?
in my mind, I'm weighing two different things. The first hand is okay, if I volunteer, I'm going to be seen as kind of this like person who's okay to do something that people are unwilling to do. It could get me a
Mm-hmm.
lot of favor, but also gets me a lot of eyes immediately. I
Mm-hmm.
basically immediately am like ruling out some insane scenarios.
Mm-hmm.
Volunteering like that, yeah, you might survive this game, but I'm near confident that those players are basically ineligible to win the entire thing at that point. So in my
Mm-hmm.
mind, I can't.
I would never. Never would I volunteer first off of that's just because I'm scary that way. I'll be like, because I'm a conspiracy theorist, and when it comes to games like this, I'm like, everything is a setup. Even if it's something good happens afterwards, everything is a setup from that point
Mm-hmm.
on. And like you said, eyes are now on you, and you're seen as either someone who's willing to take those risks, and that could maybe pay off in a better way for them, or it could pay off in a bad way for them. So I don't know if people want to necessarily be in cahoots with that. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like it'd be tougher to get allies after that, and I don't know. I wouldn't do it. 100% would not volunteer first. That I wouldn't even think about it. I'd be like, nah, no, I'm not doing it. But 2 people did. The twins did it. Player 431 and 432. They volunteered to be the leaders of this group.
Yes, Raul and Jacob Gibson, both from Bristol, UK, both twins, just kind of like step ahead of the pack. And to be honest with you, looking at them, it doesn't surprise me in the slightest.
No.
Like these are the type of people that they would want this to go to, and I think the producers very much played into the fact that like, oh wow, oh we have two twins doing this. Awesome, we have our first story beat. Great, let's keep
Yep.
it moving.
Let's keep it moving, and that they did. So the game was the task was they had to count. It was a counting game, and you had to count 456 seconds. And first, they divided the groups into X's and O's, and they had to evenly distribute them themselves on either the X side or the O side. And so everybody distributed themselves, and the X's left, the O's stayed. Um, and they had to count 456 seconds, and whoever got the closer to 456 seconds wins, and the other group is eliminated. So that is how we knock it down in half. We just, which I like I said, I like this more than I liked the red light green light.
Yeah, this is the easiest way for them to do it. All they have to do is literally track two button presses. There's nothing else that can be done. The one thing I will say is, unfortunately, it does take away player agency completely.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
also, you're going onto a show that has 456 people. At a certain point, you have to know that that agency will be ripped away from you, especially
absolutely.
in the early stage. So, 8 hour grueling shoot where you have to stay still for upwards of an hour, or potentially get involved, count to 456, and don't die. And if you just choose the wrong side, you're done off the bat.
Yeah. I mean, this is the risk you take when you go into a game with that many people. It's like you don't have control over your own destiny all the time. It's going to be some points where you do, but like at the very beginning, if you don't volunteer, you literally don't. You don't have control, and you just have to take it and accept it. And I think that in that case, I will be just like, okay, it's in God's hands at this point. It's not in mine. It's or whoever you believe in, whatever power you believe in. It's like it's up to fate. It's up to the universe. It's up to destiny. Up to God. It's up to whatever you just believe in at that point. Because all you could do is just hope you pick the right side. That's
Yeah.
it. Just hope you pick the right side. So um, they go and they start counting. They start picking people to help count. The X's, they pick a musician who can keep rhythm and keep time.
This is actually interesting because they didn't just pick a musician,
Hmm.
they picked a whole AC/DC tribute band. All four of them were there, which, I mean, good on them for having a really awesome storyline of like, yeah, no, we just have a whole band here to like count for us, which insane work.
It's crazy, and I didn't realize that that was what was going on until much later. I was like, "They're a whole band?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's kind of cool." And an AC/DC cover band at that. That's kind of cool. Did not realize that too much later. And so they had the musicians to pick to keep count. And then on the old side, they had a nurse who do compressions, who has to keep time with compressions to keep time, which is still smart. It was a very smart choice because when you do compressions, you do have to keep the rhythm and keep the time and uh, 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 uh. And so that was very much a smart choice to do. The problem with that is she started counting 10 seconds after they started the clock.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, she was already off from the beginning. And the crazy part is they recognized it. Like player 431 recognized it and said, why did she start counting so late? So I'm like, why didn't you start taking 10 seconds off or whatever she said. So it's like, okay, when she gets to 456, we already. I'm just gonna start it at 446. Like I'm gonna hit the button at 446 because she's already 10 seconds off, or at least like I would have taken at least 5 to 10 seconds off to do
But
that. But he didn't. They didn't do that. And it didn't matter. It really didn't matter because they O's were 12 seconds off of 456, while X's was 2 seconds off of 456. So X's win, O's are all eliminated, and they just get clap, 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 and they all fall down, except one. One person did not get the button, the thing stuck, exploding on their chest, and that is player 431. Because he was the captain and because he volunteered, they were going to reward their bravery, which to me felt like we got twins who volunteer. We want to keep the twins in the game, so we're going to make sure that the one can stay.
yeah, I mean, I think they realized a good storyline, but I
Hmm.
do think they were probably going to do this. They
Anyway,
might have done it anyway, based on what we see directly as 431's essentially penalty for being able to continue on.
hmm
But I think maybe things would have changed if it was a less interesting person.
mm.
Because the rules of how the next part go feel very interesting.
Interesting indeed. And so 431 now has a penalty, like Jackson mentioned. They have a penalty because they were on the losing side, but they were the captain, so they get to stay. But what they have to do is, in order to stay, he has to eliminate 3 players by saying their number and telling them good luck in the game. And so he has to say that directly to the person in order for them to stay, or in order to say that that person is eliminated. And so he comes back in, everybody's cheering, his brother's very happy to see him. We find out backstory that 431 had a medical emergency, what had seizures. No, 430, was it 430? Can't remember
I
which one
want to
had
say
it.
that 431 had a medical emergency and
And
then fell
432,
into 432's
432's,
hands.
yeah, so he had a seizure and fell into his hands, and he, was there, and it brought them closer together because he did survive the whole ordeal. His family made him all closer and stronger, and they really do love each other and whatever. And so it was like, okay, so he comes back in. The brother's very happy to see him. They go off. He's like, listen, just stay calm. I have to do something in order to stay. I have to eliminate 3 people, and I have to call them by their number and tell them good luck in the game in order to signify that they are the ones who I want to eliminate. And the brother's like, okay. He said, I have to do this in 5 minutes. No, an hour. They gave him an hour.
They gave him 1 hour to
Yeah, they gave him an hour
successfully
to do
eliminate
it.
3 players.
Yeah, so he had to do it in an hour. If they did it successfully, then those 3 players are eliminated and he gets to stay. If he doesn't do it successfully, then both him and his brother are now eliminated from the game. For me, I was like, this is not hard. This is not a hard thing to do because
It,
honestly, I don't need to know your story. I don't need to know what you plan on doing with the money. I'm just gonna walk up and be like to the first 3 people I see. Like I would have just walked to the first 3 people and be like, hey, player 177, good luck in the game. I don't need to know what you're doing. What's your story? What would you do with the money? I don't care. This is a game. This is a game for a lot of money. And I don't care at that point. It's 3 people I have to do in order to save myself. I'm walking up to the first 3 people I see, be like, oh, hey, player 77, good luck in the game. But 2 and 2, good luck in the game. Like I'm walking up to the first 3 people and I'm getting it done in like 5 minutes. But
Yeah.
they didn't do that. They didn't do that. They made it very much more complicated.
It it definitely felt like they were kind of almost playing to camera of like, we don't want to do something that's going to get people really pissed at us, and not the people in there, the people in the outside world. uh
Mhm.
I mean, I want to bring up that they are both British, and
Uh-huh.
I'm sure that they have seen British reality TV and gone, well, when people be strategic, people have problems with that. So they want to choose the amicable solutions of people who don't actually deserve the money. Which interesting three picks. One of them I
Mhm.
can see is deserved. The other two are very interesting.
Mhm.
Similar storylines, but
Mhm.
let's just get into it.
Yeah, we'll get into it. So they go around and they're starting to ask people, so what would you do with the money if you won, blah blah blah. Some people are like, I'd help my family. My child is autistic and I've been homeschooling, so I want to play for that. um I want to give to these charities because my mom has this, and my dad has this, and my family is stuff. I want to give back, and a lot of sad sob stories, which I always feel you need to have in games like this. And when people ask you, you definitely give them your good side of your story, even if your intentions are to take most of the money and blow it on something frivolous and crazy. You always start off with the good. Like, oh, it's $456 million. We are not going to all give $456 million to charity unless you just already have $456 million and you just here for the experience. Nobody's coming on this game saying, you know what, I'm going to donate all of this money if I win to charity, unless they already have $456 million. You know what I
There's at
mean?
least one millionaire on the cast, apparently, so one person might.
So that's what I said. Unless you already have it, you're not doing it. And so, because for me, if I won $456 million, will I give some to charity? Absolutely. Would I give some to, worthy causes? Absolutely. But I'm going to take care of myself and my family first. Like, I'm going to take this money. I'm going to make sure that my family is set up. I'm set up. My future family is set up. Have some things going down the line. Am I gonna take a good chunk of that money and just have a good time with it? Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Who wouldn't? I'm going on the best trips. I'm going buying a nice car and nice houses, and I'm going to, even though houses are an investment and it could be for my family's future as well. But am I going to take a good chunk of money and have a great time with it? Sure. a
No
hundred percent.
question.
I'm going to travel. I'm going to have parties. I'm going to go shopping and get all the things that I ever wanted in my life. I want. That's what I worked hard for that. I'm gonna do it. And I'm gonna do it. But am I going to make sure that my folks is together? Have we been going through hard times? Yes. Do we need to get out of hard times? Yes. Is it some people in my life who are struggling big time? Yes. So would I help them out? Sure. But I'm not gonna come out and say, but I'm gonna take about $20 million and blow it on casinos in the Monte Carlo, even if that's what I'm thinking about doing. You know what I'm saying? I'm not thinking about
Yeah.
doing that. Don't get me wrong, y'all. I'm not gonna take $20 million and spend it in Monte Carlo. That's not. But I will go to Monte Carlo.
You go to Monte Carlo and spend like maybe 50 grand. Like, that's
Yeah,
reasonable.
yeah, that's reasonable because honestly, I don't like to gamble, so that's not something for me. See, okay, my big thing is I will take money like that and I'll be like, all the things that I wanted to do, the places, the big things that I want to do. Like, I'm a big wrestling fan, so I would go to all the big wrestling shows, all four, the big major four, and get front row seats. I would go to the NCAA finals in March Madness and sit courtside. I would go to the NBA finals and sit courtside. Like stuff like that. I would go to my favorite concerts and people who do concerts. I'm sitting front row. I'm going like I'm getting VIP, like that kind of stuff.
Like, I know if I had that kind of money, like $1 million is going to go to make sure that my little sibling, my mom, me can do whatever the fuck we want for the rest of my life. I'm also going to use $1 million of that dollars to take my little sibling and I on a tour around the world, going to every
Period.
fucking theme park and water park and like escape
Period.
room. And I'm going to be the fun, gay
Uncle.
little sibling that I've always, the gay sibling I've always wanted to be, and be like, bitch, we're going on that ride right there. I don't care what you're talking about. Like, of course I'm going to do that. But I'm
Absolutely.
going to say that no. I mean,
Yeah.
my mom has gone through a lot. She's raised
Yep.
me, and like, I want to make sure that she's good. And I
Yep.
will do this to be able to invest in myself going forward.
Yep.
I'm not going to tell you that that investment also involves a year-long R&R treatment. Like,
Yeah.
like,
I'm not gonna tell you I'll be on.
the pitch. That's
I'm
going to
not
be
gonna tell you. I'm not telling you I'm getting a yacht and I'm going out, yeah, with my home. I won't even tell people that I will, because like of course I would invest in this podcast. I would invest in a lot of stuff. I'm not gonna tell you my dream is to have my own run my own live uh LRG of my game high rise and the actual high rise. Like I'm not gonna tell you I'm gonna buy a high rise and just for the first, while I'm doing it, it's just gonna be for my game purposes. Then I'll rent it out for, after that. But
yeah.
yeah, I'm not gonna tell people that, but that's what I want to do. Like that's literally what I want to do. But I don't know. It's crazy. It's wild. But they were going around asking people, and like I said, all the sad stories were coming out. And then one girl was like, "I'm gonna spend it on me and my friends going to party for a while. We're gonna do that." And then she was like, I mean, we're gonna do investments and stuff, but the first part of it is going to a party and having a great time. Ain't nothing wrong with that girl, but you should have said that first because they was said as soon as you said they were like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
107 really just like paddled themselves directly off a cliff, and there was no recovery.
She had no idea. She thought she was just talking. And that's why I was like, you have to be very aware in these games in every situation. Every conversation is not just talking. Conversations mean things in these games. So you have to monitor. You have to be on every second of the day when you're talking to people. It's
Mm-hmm.
no just talking just to be talking unless you know that person. Like if me and you were in a game, I know, okay, I could talk to Jack and we could just be talking and Jack won't use that against because we just talking unless necessary. Unless necessary.
Unless necessary. And at that point, it's like, no, we're aware. We're aware.
Yeah, we're aware. And it's like, okay. But I would never do that to just random strangers. I would never talk to anybody like that. Like, okay, if my siblings were in the game, I know I can just talk to them. Like, okay, girl, yeah, we
Yeah.
know what we come here for. But to random strangers, you don't tell them that. But this is where it gets weird, and this is where I was about to blow up on the twins because they go to Mark, they go to player 100, and Mark tells them about their uh Star Wars wedding that they want to have, and I'm talking about how it was going to be in Disneyland, Disney World, and want to have this beautiful Star Wars wedding and everything. And the twins was like, I mean, that's nice. I don't really care about no Star Wars, so Player 100 could go. And I was like, hold on, hold on, don't
This is
you
why
dare!
we seceded from Britain. You're the
Right?
fucking reason.
I was like, don't you dare, don't you dare. So I'm literally like, okay, don't you do it.
Uh-huh.
So 431 goes and tells 432. He brings 432 over to talk to Mark again. And he was like, I was telling him about your Star Wars wedding. So Mark goes into details and was like, yeah, because my girlfriend really loves this. My fiance, I really want to do this for her. She's just so sweet. She's so nice. She did so much for me. I want to do something for her. And he goes into his story. And the twins was like, oh,
Now
oh,
we
he's
can't
too
do it.
nice. We can't do it. He's too nice. And I was like, whoo, oh, thank goodness.
Mark pitching for himself by just being the lovely person. That's all I wanted.
That,
That's all I wanted. It was like, great, cool. We are all good. Just to be clear, Mark has had a lot of screen time as well. So, like,
hmm
just being able to see him just present himself, it genuinely is like,
And the thing
oh, bitch.
is, that is Mark. That's
Uh-huh.
Mark, period. That's Mark 24 hours a day. That's Mark, the Mark that I met. That's the Mark that y'all see on the screen. And I was like, oh, this is Mark. He ain't doing nothing but being himself. And I loved every second of it. I was like, Mark saved himself without even realizing he saved himself by just being himself. It was so beautiful. And I was like, okay, cool. But then they go and they have to they realize the time is running out and they have to do something. And then here's the funny part. People start catching on. People are like, something's going on. Those twins, something ain't. And what we talked about earlier is starting to come to fruition. People are looking at them now. The eyes are on them because they volunteered so early, and they're like, something ain't right about this. They up to something. They doing something, and we don't know what it is, but something ain't right.
Hmm.
People are hiding. Like, I don't want them to see my number. I don't want to talk to them, which is what I would have did. I would have stayed far, far, far away from them.
Yeah. No, I I don't blame them. I mean, oh, everyone but you is dead?
Right.
That's interesting. I'm just gonna scoot back and like, if y'all don't have to talk to me, that'd be great.
Don't.
But at the same time, it's like, okay, what mission could they have? Is it they anyone they don't talk to dies? Like,
Mhm.
do they have? I mean, do they have to say something? I'm pretty sure no one was directly listening to them and like realizing that was a phrase they had to say because I mean, it was slightly unnatural to be like, let me refer to you as your number instead of a
Right.
person.
Mhm.
But yeah, no, people caught on and people caught on fast.
Yeah. And it was just like they didn't want to be around them. They didn't want to, you know, nothing. It was just like, okay. Um, but the time was starting to run out and they knew they had to do something and do it quickly. And so what did they do? They spotted another set of twins in the mix and was like, what about them? I mean, we want to be the only twins in the building, so what about them? And so they walked over and talked to them and they just did it. They
They
just
just
did
did it.
it. And so after they did it and time expired, the guards come in and let them know first that they see that the count is now down to whatever the count is at that
I
point.
think it was 220. Okay, math. 227 or 220. I think it was actually 229 because it's 456 divided by 2 plus 1.
Right. And
Something like
so
that.
something like that. So they cut them down and so they let them know that, the number is split in half. And they put the money in the so everybody sees the money coming in and we see poor little 107 just like, yay, woo! And I was like, girl, you have no idea. You ain't gonna
She
even
even
see that.
she even says chump change, and I'm like,
But
they knew exactly the soundbite they wanted. They knew
yeah.
exactly the soundbite. Jesus Christ.
I was like, oh, yeah, I'll play it in her face. Um, I ain't gonna say what I thought. Well, you're saying I'm gonna say what I thought, but I ain't saying that they are. I'm just saying I ain't like this boot order. I ain't like the three people that they picked.
Yeah, it was unfortunate.
I ain't like it, but okay.
I didn't like it either. Yeah, it's not. It's
But
not
it's
great.
okay. It's not great because they were also looking at the father daughter team, who we see a lot of in this episode or in the next episode.
Hmm.
Which I kind of was like, this daughter is starting to piss me off a little bit because she's doing too much. She worried too much about dad, who was out there actually doing what he's supposed to be doing and being social, getting people to like him, getting people, on their side so he can build up alliances. And she's like, you're doing too much, dad. You're doing too much. Calm down. And I was like, girl, relax. He ain't doing nothing. He literally is not doing anything wrong. And she's like, he's just putting a target on our back. Oh my God. And then when they found out the three people eliminated, and the father made the statement like, oh, they could be looking at targeting us. I know, that's what I've been saying, Dad.
I I get it in a degree of like you are already coming into the game with like someone who will 100% be with you. There's no questions asked. We already saw Leanne and Trey do well last
Yeah,
season.
right.
So having that kind of inverted gender relationship of a father and daughter here, especially being that close, it doesn't shock me that they were at least considered to be a target early on. Zoe might have slightly manifested it a little bit more of like, hey, we're a target because we know each other. Dad, stop. And unfortunately, planting that thought in, they do know each other. That is targetable. So,
But nobody was thinking
yeah.
about them up until the end, up until that point. But then we find out that who is eliminated when they said 107. I can't think of the other twins' numbers. 180.
I believe it was 250. I have it noted down somewhere. I can find it in like 2 seconds.
I'm about to say, I don't remember.
The
Uh,
count 431's interlude. 285 Bryce, 286 Blake, and then also 107 Jackie.
yeah, they were all gone. So they were very shocked that they got out. And the twins played it up like, oh my God, what happened? Oh my God.
Oh my god,
Uh,
that's crazy!
that's crazy.
Wow.
I thought it was going to be us. Oh my God. Yeah. Anyway, we, we get the obligatory, going around, everybody's talking and, people making allies and getting to know each other, trying to figure out bed situations, all of that. Blah blah blah. Let's get to the next game because honestly, there was just a lot of talking in between. Nothing really. A lot of people looking at the twins. A lot of people looking at other people. Um, some people looking at Mark, and Mark woke up very, cheerful in the morning. And some, I think he was called a serial killer by Peter. It was like that. Anybody who wakes up this early in the morning without, being ready is got to be a serial killer. Like just ready to wake up talking. I'm like, I mean, I get it. I'm not a morning person
I get
either.
it. That's also just Mark.
That's just Mark. um, we go. They have to line up, and they have to split up into teams of rows of 10. Excuse me. Have to split into groups of 10. Everybody has to get into groups of 10, and so everybody splits up into 10, and then each 10 get into a row, and they, whatever. So
I
they
do
go out.
find it
Go ahead.
at least interesting because, like, we already know there's not a group. We're not dividing by 10 here. It's never
Mm-mm.
explained what happens to the 6 players who just don't join a threesome, don't join a group of 10. Seemingly half of them get eliminated via some means because it's not all of them. We don't have an even number still, but we just don't know what happens. It's
Right.
probably some weird thing behind the scenes.
Right. Some behind the scenes thing that we just didn't see. But everybody gets lined up, they get into a row, and each row goes out into a track, a two sided track, and they split them up right down the middle, 5 and 5. And they're going to be teams of 5 for a 6-legged pentathlon. So they get their legs tied together and they have to solve 5 mini games. So while racing around the track. And so the first game is the ball and cup. Second game is the flying stone. The third game is the gongoji.
Gonji, yeah.
Gonji. The fourth is House of Cards, and the fifth is Jenga. So, Jack, which one are you picking? Which one do you feel is your strong suit in these looks in these ones?
I feel like if I knew I was going on this show, I would
Mm-hmm.
have reviewed everything that happened in season 2, and Gonji is just something I would have practiced anyway. So I feel like
Mm-hmm.
I'd be most confident in something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I've ever done a House of Cards correctly.
Mm-hmm.
And then Flying Stone, I'm not accurate. Ball in a Cup feels so random, and Jeggy, I'm not good with my feet. So
So Gongji. I probably would have done bowling cup because I do have good hand-eye coordination. I can figure that, I can catch something. I've never completed a house of cards successfully, but I've gotten very close to completing a house of cards successfully, especially those two levels. Like it's just two
mm,
levels. And so I've gotten close to doing that. Flying Stone, maybe. It might have took me a couple of tries, but I eventually would have hit it. Now, no, Jingy, no. I think I can't do the feet thing. I'm not coordinated with my feet either. So Ball and Cup would have been my first choice, and then Flying Stone would have been my second choice. Donkey? No, thank you. No,
yeah.
thank you. But so they have to go to each station and do it, and then whoever finishes first, that team is safe. The other losing team is eliminated. Why was I so nervous watching this? I was so nervous watching this for Mark. Let me just be honest. I was just very nervous watching Mark do this, and this just made me very nervous, and I was very jittery, and I was like, okay. Uh, but we see multiple teams go complete it, and we see multiple teams lose, and the dad gets through. He goes back to the dorms, and this is where I was like, okay, another storyline being developed and being built right now.
Mm-hmm.
We see it because everybody's concerned. He's concerned if his daughter's always going to make it. And everybody's like, it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. She's gonna be fine. She's gonna make it. So she just happens to be in the last group.
Just so happens, just what a coincidence! What a little miracle!
She so happens to be in the last group. And they're going to show it in the dorms for everybody to watch it. And I was like, oh, here's the story. We wanted to see that. And in that moment, I was like, she's going to make it.
Honestly,
I knew she was going to make it.
I can see it in either direction, where they have either a dad who like very clearly is wanting to play the game more than his daughter, and his daughter's like, hey, calm down, you don't have to do this much. And then she goes out in something he has no control over, and that's a massive storyline. Or they survive together, and the daughter and dad can just like keep pushing each other forward. It's either way.
They
I
wanted to have a big reunion moment of
Mhm.
yes, we're together, and everybody's cheering and everybody's just like. I personally felt bad for the other team that she wasn't on because everybody in the door was cheering for her team because of him, and then it was a couple of people who were like, "My best friend's on that other team. I really want them to do well," and it was like, "We don't care. We're not showing that." And nobody was cheering for them. I was kind of like, "Oh."
Yeah.
But this is going into episode 2 at this pentathlon, watching this end of this pentathlon. Um, and we watch Zoe's team actually win their heat, and they come back, and she's excited. Her dad's excited. Everybody's happy. Um, And it's fine. Everything's good. Everything's great. Mark did go on, by the way, because I'm
Oh
very
yeah.
happy to say Mark did make it through. Period. Doing ball and cup. Love you that. You did it. You did a great job, Mark. You did a great job. But when we get back to the dorms, a little while later, we hear another message come up from the Squid Games crew, and the players who were the slowest in each mini game respectfully is announced. All five it's five people, and we have a vote. We have a vote, and this is what I did not like about this. This is what I didn't like about this because it looked, even though it wasn't the case for all of the people, but most of the people who were up there doing the slowest in their challenges were the older people.
Hmm.
It was one who was maybe in their 30s or late 20s. Everybody else was 40 and above.
Yeah.
And I was
It
like,
was it was like, goddamn, okay, I get it, but at the same time, wow, you gave very precise games to people. Yeah, no, unfortunately, those skills degrade with time. This is not surprising,
I was
but
like, I was like, man, not all old people. And one of those older people was player 89, who was in the ACDC cover band, who helped the X team get to the next level.
yeah.
And I was like,
Uh,
oh. And so I was like, ah, well. And
well,
and he was like, surely the X's will have my back because I helped them get here. Like, if it wasn't for me counting, they wouldn't be here. The O's would win. I helped them get here, so they won't vote me out.
well, uh,
Mm, mm.
yeah, about
About
that.
that.
Um, unfortunately, I mean, I will note, maybe if player 455 had actually hit O first as
Hmm.
that kind of like starting force to kind of push people into doing it, I think it might have gone through. But yeah,
You
no.
know, no.
Basically, the vote to execute all of them almost has double the entire time. And
Hmm.
I mean, I don't think we get down to like player one. It was like player 116, if I
116.
remember right.
Yep, 116.
And
Johnson.
118.
Oh,
Yeah,
118. Johnson.
John T. Yeah.
Which
Uh,
we'll talk about him because.
and yeah, no. He basically, if he presses X, all of them are done because that's majority at that point. If not, um, then the vote continues and anyone else can send it to majority. Jesus Christ.
This man puts on an Oscar winning performance. And I'm doing it in air quotes for my Spotify listeners or my audio listeners. Oscar worthy performance because honestly,
It was bad.
nobody was buying it. Nobody was buying it. He's just like, oh my God, I don't really want to do this. This is this is the hardest thing. I really want to push the O. I do, but uh, I, and he hits X. And his confession was like, I'm very happy to hit X. I don't even care. I was not going to ever hit O, so I was going to always hit X. And I'm very happy to do so. But I don't want them to do it because I have a reputation to uphold. I want to be known as the good guy.
If you want that as your reputation, you can hit the O and pass the buck of that problem to someone else. There's literally like 30 people behind you that can,
Right.
30, 40 people behind you that can make the same decision and have the same problem. You don't have to do this. You're
If you don't
literally
want
the
to.
first person who has this problem. But
You know, he made the decision. And so he hits the X and they're all eliminated. And so they have lunch and they're starting to talk and people do more. And this man, this same Oscar winning actor, walks up to a group of people and he's like, Oh, that was so hard. That was just the hardest thing. I didn't want to do that. It was just so hard. And I don't remember her number, but God bless this woman. She
Was
was
it
like,
361?
I can't remember her number. I just know, God bless her. She was like, boy, please. Anybody behind that? That performance was lame. Like, we knew what she was doing. So, and he was like,
Mm-hmm.
what? What do you mean? I was, I actually really, it was hard. It was a hard decision. She was like,
Uh-huh.
yeah, yeah, we're buying that. It was so hard for you. We, sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure. Whatever. That's
Whatever,
cute.
bruh. Right? It's like, whatever, man. And he was just like, I don't know what you mean. So he walks away. And another guy's like, I'm so glad you said that. I am so glad you said that because I was thinking the same thing. Like, please, who's buying that? So now he didn't put himself out there, and people are no longer believing him anymore either as the good guy that he claims he wants to be. It was just like, nobody cares. Um, we do see um a door opens in the hallway. People have been asking about what is these doors for? What does this happen? What is this? But they were all locked. But suddenly a door opened and people are like, what's in there? So they go in there and it's a vending machine and it has snacks in there. And the vending machine says 1 token equals snacks. You get treats. So they see a token on the floor and they see it and they use it to get cookies. And I think it's like 4 or 5 people in there and they shared the cookies. And of course, you can't not just have cookies and don't say anything. You have to go out and tell everybody that, hey guys, it's a vending machine back here and we just got cookies. And everybody was like, mm. Instantly, people like, nope, don't want the cookie. I don't want it. I'm not eating this cookie. You keep your cookie. We don't want the cookies. He's like, what? It's just cookies. Like I'm being guys, I'm serious. It's cookies. And they're like, mm. And he can't understand why people are like, nah, I don't want your cookies. Keep your cookies. We don't want the cookies. Me personally, I wouldn't want the cookies either. I watch Squid Game challenge, and I don't. I know everything comes with a price, and I don't know if I want to pay that price for a stinking cookie
Yeah.
on day two.
They're not going to eliminate every single person who doesn't eat a cookie because
Right.
that the game would be essentially over. So I'm not touching that with a
Right.
10-foot pole.
Because it's more likely that they eliminate the people who ate the cookie than it would be the ones who didn't eat the cookie.
Mm-hmm.
So no, you can keep your cookie. Keep your cookie, bro. I don't want your cookie. It's day two. I ain't starving. I ain't fiending for no cookies yet. It's day two. I ain't there yet. So keep your cookie. But he couldn't understand why they didn't want to, they didn't want to take his cookies or take him up on his cookie offer. So lunchtime happens, and during lunch there is an announcement for you can get in line to get your food, your daily ration, or you can get in another line, skip your food, but you get a lottery ticket, a scratch off. You scratching off, Jack?
No,
Yeah, no, me.
it's like, okay, so we've introduced this vending machine, which
Mm, mm,
also has just like a very casual thing right after it's been introduced for the first time.
mm.
Oh, you can put 10 coins in and kill someone. Great. And then it's like, hey, here's some lottery tickets. So I can either eat, feel nourished, and be ready for the next game,
Mm-hmm.
or I can burn all of that food and deal with whatever this is. And my money is that at least one or two of those tickets, if they have enough, say you are eliminated.
Right.
Yeah, no, I'm not touching that. I'd rather be prepared.
Yeah. So some people do go get lottery tickets instead of eating, and they scratch off. And some people get some treats. Some people get 5 coins. Some people get um some donuts, some pizza. They get some stuff. Other people, two people, players 24 and player 352, gets a disadvantage for the next game. And yeah, no, I'm not.
No,
Would have
no.
never. I'm going to eat my food and eat my salad and sit down. Like that. That's literally what I'm gonna go do. Um. So we get to the next challenge, and the players have a sort in 4 color marked areas, which leaves 3 players out. It's not enough spaces for everybody, so 3 players have to um sit. 3 players have to sit out in this challenge, but they don't know that what is to come from not participating, with not getting a space in these 4 colored areas. But player 82, player 111, and player 118 all sit out. They all say they don't want to go. They don't want to. They won't be in the thing, and they actively choose not to get into a area. Um, and find out they don't have to play the game. So they're like, yes, we don't have to play. We're safe. We're good. We don't have to play. We don't have to play. Find out that you do still have to play, just not physically play. They have to tether themselves to 3 other players and whatever happens to them in that game happens to you. So if that player that you choose to go out, you go out with them. So player 82 chooses 383. Player 111 chooses 437. And player 118 chooses 152. And so all the players who are in the game, they have to line up on these colored lines and made up of dots directed towards the middle of the room. From the middle, a thrower throws the ball to one player at the front of the line. If the ball is caught, the thrower is saved and the catcher is now the new thrower. And if the ball is dropped onto the floor, both the thrower and the catcher are eliminated and a new ball is used. It's a total of 16 balls in this game. And so they have to use all the balls, and it's going to go continue until all the balls are used. And like I said, if you catch it, you're good. And the catcher becomes a new thrower, and then they throw it and they catch it, they're good. So it's just a continual cycle until we can get to the end of the line or all the balls are used. That's what's going to happen. And then there are 2 disadvantages in this game that we'll talk about. Um, the first player, she got her disadvantage. She was first before Peter. She was so her disadvantage was they used tennis balls. By the way, tennis balls was the ball that they were throwing and catching. Her disadvantage was like a ping pong ball. It was like a very
Yeah, it
small
was
ball.
it was so good to just be like, oh, what's that? I don't even think it was.
I don't think
Was
it
it
was that big.
genuinely that size? I
I
thought it
think it
was
was.
like almost a marble.
It
Like,
was it was maybe smaller than this.
which,
Ooh,
Jesus Christ.
jeez. Catching something that small, and I don't even know how lightweight. If it was the same like weight of a tennis ball, just smaller, or was it like the weight of a ping pong ball, but smaller? Because a ping pong ball and a tennis ball weighs the way you catch it is it's please, please.
By the look of it, I think it was tennis ball size, but it like
Hmm.
had the same texture as like a tennis ball. So maybe it was just like a very tiny tennis ball that was the size of a ping
And the
pong ball.
same weight, and it's but the same weight of a tennis ball.
The same
as
proportional weight, yeah.
proportional weight. All right. So yeah, that was one. The second disadvantage was a blindfold. It was a regular ball, still a regular tennis ball you were able to use. So I like that they did that. But the thrower, Peter, had to put on a blindfold and toss it to the person. Honestly, equally as hard.
Honestly, potentially easier.
Maybe a little
As
easier
long
because
as long
as
as the
you hear
thrower
it,
doesn't screw up generally, like it's not going to be a problem for the catcher, especially when Peter number
yeah,
24
yeah.
had thrown the ball. It
Yeah.
really wasn't a problem.
And then all you really have to do is listen to the voice. Like, okay, I know I'm throwing it in this direction, and it would have been harder if both of them were blindfolded, but
That would have
it
been
wa-
unreasonable.
that would have been unreasonable and probably very unfair. But the person, even if I threw it wonky, the person can leave that circle to get to catch the ball. So they just have to,
Mhm.
run up or run back or whatever. But both of them surpass their disadvantage. They get through the disadvantage, and both of them are safe. So kudos for them for getting to their disadvantage. Um, can we talk about the loudest man in the room real quick?
Oh my god. So 89, right? Like is it
Yeah,
98 or 89?
90. I think it was 98. Uh,
Yes, it was 98.
yeah, yeah, it was yeah, like a freight train. 98. Wow. And we found out he's a cop, so it makes sense. I was like,
Yeah,
mm.
he
From New
well, I
York.
mean, let's talk about the situation why he got pissed because
Hmm.
I mean,
Yeah.
so somehow within their team, the two twins had managed to get to the front of the line in positions 2 and 3. And I think it was maybe because of Raul suggesting that Jacob should be at the front because he got them there. He was the one who pressed the button to get them there, which that was the musician's job. He was just a simple lever that pressed the button. I don't know what that is.
I wish people would learn to speak up because I'm like, no. How about no? Since you just pressed the button, so you already had your advantage to stay. Get to the back of the line, buddy. I would be like, we put our weaker player throw catchers first. Y'all get to the back of the line. Like, there's no way I would have let them go in front of me if
Mm-hmm.
I was there. There's no way.
It just, I mean, they're strong enough personalities that they can essentially force it, which good for them. That's a good skill to have in this game.
Hmm.
But at the same time, it's like anyone, that it was like a group of what? Like almost 20, 25 people should have been like, no, good try. Y'all are going to the back.
Y'all had y'all chance to shine. Now let's shine on in the back of the line. How about that? Like, no.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, 432 and 431 end up in the front of the line, and they start off that blue team starts off with the ball, so they're going to potentially just throw it to their team to keep their team safe. Well, we get to 431. The girl throws it to him. He's good. She's good. He throws it to his brother. They're good. He's good. The brother 431 decides, I'm just gonna take the easy route and throw it to this person in the front row. I don't want to risk. And so player 98 loses it. He's like, what? No, this is a team. Stick to the plan. Stick to the plan. Just throw it to me. I'm going to catch it. I promise you I'm going to catch it. I played baseball for so long. I'm going to play. I can catch it. I can catch it. I can catch it. And they're like, I don't want to do it to you. I want to give it to somebody else, and I want to just make sure I'm safe. This is about me. And here's my thing: they have made it very clear. 431 and 432. They have made it very clear that this is uh it's all about them. They ain't worried about nobody else. It's all about them. And so I'm like, I hope people realize that and they listen to that because he's like,
Yeah,
I can only do it for me. It's not a team sport. It's just for me.
it should be really obvious at this point. And I mean, people even call it out like, wow, okay, no, they're fully playing the game at this point.
Hmm. But 98 is pissed off, and he's like, so he's like, they're deviating from the plan. They're not doing the plan. They're not doing. And so everybody's like in the team in that blue line is like, what? We supposed to do it? He's like, so he's wrestling back and forth like, oh, should I do it? Should I not? Okay, okay, I'll decide to do it. So he does it. He throws it to 98. 98 catches it. So he's like, see, I told you, I told you. And from that point on, this man has become the loudest hype man on the sides the entire time. And he's screaming and hollering. And other people from other teams are like, oh my God, bro. Like, would you shut up? And he's like going in. It's kind of wild.
I mean, he does manage to eventually yell enough to make them do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, at that moment, it's like basically 98 just lays into the Twins to where like their target was already massive. Now it's the size of China. Like it's
Yeah.
so massive, nothing is going to matter anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. But they do it. The blue team goes halfway and then they change it to somebody else. Then goes. We see a lot of people, players getting it and catch the ball, and then all of a sudden we get into the montage of people dropping the balls. So we see a lot of people starting to drop balls. And we're like, oh shoot, okay, all right. Let's go back though while we're picking
Uh
lines because
huh.
I don't want to because
There's
yeah,
one other thing. There's
there's
one other
something I want.
small thing.
It's another huge thing that happened during this picking of the lines or whatever. Um, there's a certain someone.
Mm-hmm.
Um, um, Player 272, step to
Yeah.
the front. Player 272, step to the front. Because what do you mean? You gonna call Mark out in front of everybody and was like, people judge you. People perceive you. People judge you, and they're not gonna think you could do anything. And we need to put you. You're the weak. You're the weakest. You're the weakest. And you made Mark cry.
And this isn't even the first time you talk this much shit about Mark. We had a moment before where you were dogging on his wedding idea. I cannot say anything that will not legally get me in trouble. So I'm going to go with the fact that that wasn't very nice. And in the infamous words of Jojo Siwa, karma's a bitch.
Because who got out on your team because they couldn't? Mm.
Because they
Yeah,
couldn't
it was
catch a
you.
ball.
You couldn't catch a ball. It was you.
Oh,
It was you. Pity.
oh. I guess
Mhm.
you weren't athletic enough to catch that ball. Oh, oh, the horror. Oh,
Mm.
your dream obviously wasn't good enough.
I mean, people were going to perceive you as somebody who can't catch, and we're going to judge you because people judge you, and you're a monster for making Mark cry. And like you said, why you got? What's your beef with Mark? Why are you talking about him like that? Why you talking about him like that? What you don't like Star Wars? Fine, but why you talking about his like a man can't have Star Wars dreams? A man can't have find joy in Star Wars. They want to have a Star Wars wedding with their bride who agrees to the Star Wars wedding. They can't have.
No, obviously not because you can't have fun. You can't have fun.
Mm-mm.
No
Can't
fun.
have fun,
Must always be serious. Must always be goal oriented. All that stuff.
please. Mark, I would love to come to your Star Wars wedding whenever y'all have it. If you want me to, I would love to come because I would. Because how dare you, sir?
How dare you?
How dare you?
How fucking
How
dare
dare? And I will dress up too. And I don't even watch Star Wars like that, but I will. I will get a lightsaber and everything.
you? Can we just like start the GoFundMe to get that together anyway?
I have. Can we? Because hello. How dare
Hello.
you?
How dare you?
How dare you talk about Mark and then make him cry and then do it in such a public way in front of everybody and was talking I could feel the trauma coming back on Mark and I understand. I've been that person. I've been bullied in school in sixth grade and when he was like, "Oh, it's sixth grade all over again." I was like, "Oh, I know. I hate 272.
It
Mark,
just
count your days. Count your days." I know it's been over. I know this game has been over and done, and your mark might be good now, but count your days.
yeah, just simply put, I'm trying to find the number really quick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so 125. Specifically, let me get the name here. Dimitri, thank you for actively calling Ryan on his shit and saying, we're gonna stop singling someone out right now.
Right
You're not
now.
gonna continue this. You're gonna shut up. Like genuinely, that is the kind of shit that we need. And simply put, that immediately was like, I have no idea who Dimitri is. I'm immediately
I
on his
like
side.
him. I like
Cool,
him.
done. Uh,
125. I will be rooting for you. I will be rooting for you
yep.
because
It's all I need to see.
that's it. I like good people, and 272. Mm-mm.
Mm-mm.
You weren't it.
No,
You
not
weren't it.
anymore. You're done.
You weren't it. You weren't it. You weren't it. That was awful. That was awful. And the way you did that, awful. Just mean and awful. But ugh, we do see Mark get to step up now, and um, we see.
Um, mm,
I can't remember what her number was before him. I think it was 484.
let me go ahead and check the tapes because I have it pulled up on my end at least.
I know
Uh,
440 something. That was four something. I do know that. Can't remember.
four
Um,
four three.
443 was before her, before Mark, and she's like, "We're going." She's like, "I'm going to get tosses to you. Can you catch it?" Mark is like, "I can do it. I can do it. I can do it." And she's like, "I'm gonna give it to you." And he's like, "I can do it. I can do it. I can do it." And we see her toss it up in the air, and then they shut it off for episode two. Cliffhanger.
Please no Netflix. That was a targeted attack against me and Lana, and we will be suing because it's cruel and unusual punishment. I now I have a problem. And I mean, I've already done it with one network. Now I'm going to come onto one of your shows and steal your money. That's how it's going to work. I already have a track record. I'm going to do it. So
Jack's
just
gonna do it.
prepare.
Jack's going to do it, and I have all the faith in the world that Jack's going to do it. And when he does, and when they do, I will be right here talking about it too. And I'm a dog, y'all. Be like, see, that's what you get. Because how dare you cut it off right there when me
Uh,
and Jack was gonna have heart palpitations. Heart palpitations. I was like, oh.
oh,
And I was watching this at 4 in the morning. By the way, I just want you to know, I started watching this, and it was about 4 in the morning when I was watching this. So did I have to go and start episode three just to know what happened? Yes,
yes.
I had to.
Unfortunately, that cliffhanger really worked. I was like, I have to go to class. You have to be kidding me.
But I have to find out what
But
happened.
I
So
have to find out.
I know what happened, but we won't talk about that. We'll talk about that tomorrow.
We will
But
talk about that tomorrow.
that's where we're gonna leave off because that's where they left off. But we'll be back here tomorrow talking about episodes 3 and 4 of Squid Games, the challenge, and we hope you enjoyed this episode. And if you have, please subscribe to this channel. Subscribe to all of our channels. All the links will be in the description below. Follow us on our audio podcast links. Join our Patreon. Follow us on all of our socials at the Cup Pod on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Blue Sky. Get your cup mug at LanaKeysCreations.etsy.com or that QR code that's right over there above Jack's head. Scan it, get it. We'd love to see it. And like I said, we'll be back here tomorrow to talk all things Squid Games, the challenge. So until then, we're gonna go because we got more content to make for you guys.
So
But you
much more.
so much more content to make. So you can just go and click the next video because we got a lot of content coming your way. So we'll see y'all soon. Cheers, y'all.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.